Remember that infidelity is a choice. No matter what situation you're up against, there's always a million different ways to proceed. It's kind of a silly example, but there's a show called Suits, and Harvey Specter tells Mike Ross that when you have a gun pointed at your head, there's always 123 other things that you can do. It's never, oh, I had to do this. There's always ways to be resourceful that they did not take advantage of. Relationship dynamics do matter, but they don't excuse the betrayal. Communication issues, unmet needs, stressors, they can create distance, but they don't create cheating. Like, that was a choice. Also, remember that there were healthy alternatives they could have used but didn't. The unfaithful partner could have sought therapy. They could have had more honest conversations with you. They could have even chosen separation or divorce instead of betrayal. There is a real difference between having accountability for what you messed up and having boundaries where you understand this is where my line of responsibilities end and where yours begin. And for a lot of people that struggle with this, they really struggle with boundaries, not in the sense of stop treating me this way, but in the sense of like they sometimes forget where they end and someone else begins. It's like they have existential boundary issues. Now, if you go one layer deeper, self-blame is common because it stirs up feelings that we all have of not being enough. In my work with clients, one of the best things that can happen is really getting deep to that feeling of like, yeah, random times in my life I have felt like just existentially unworthy and not good as a human being. And it's an opportunity to clear that out and to eliminate that once and for all. Throughout this whole process, healing is going to require separating facts from feelings, separating stories that you tell yourself from what's objectively true. Because it's okay to feel anger, sadness, or confusion. Like, these are part of processing betrayal. But sometimes we misplace the direction of those, and we think that it must be our fault. Or we want to protect our partner because that's what our instincts have been. And so if it's not their fault, it must have been ours. One question that you can ask yourself, instead of saying, why wasn't I enough? You could begin to ask, why did they choose dishonesty instead of truth? Instead of saying, what's wrong with me? You could ask, what was wrong with the relationship? Instead of asking, what's wrong with who I am? You could ask, what's wrong with who they are? That they chose this way of self-destruction and destroying me instead of just being mature enough to end things if things truly were over.